What is up, everyone? I'm standing in front of my PRS JMod cab, and I have a G12-65H speaker that was rattling for a while, and I was like, well, I don't know. And then I went and hung out with a bunch of friends this weekend at Americon 2022, playing through this cab super loud with that head. Actually, we plugged in a few different things, but it was a lot of fun. But actually, playing at that volume confirmed to what my suspicion was. There's something funky about that speaker. Either it's was torqued down incorrectly, or the speaker is just blown, and they're mechanical things, and that happens. So who knows? But this video is about a cab appreciation, construction appreciation for this cab. I'm pretty sure that these are made by Guitar Cabinets Direct. They're like an OEM supplier for a lot of different companies. And at the end, PRS will put their badge on it and call this a PRS cab. But I did want to talk about the appreciation of how this was constructed. It's really nice fit and finish. So I grabbed my camera. As a result, you can see I have that screwdriver here so we can take a look inside. First, the finishing screws are these nice black stealthy screws, and the washer is built in. So it's really nice that I don't have to chase washers after I pull these out of the hole. So that's really cool. Let's take a look inside. You're going to see that I already started taking apart the speaker and unsoldering it here. So you can see that. But one of the things I wanted to do in troubleshooting was to see if that speaker was maybe not torqued down, or like one of these sides was torqued down too much. And there was one side that was torqued a little bit more than the others. And if you watch any of my other videos, or I don't even know if I made a video, but basically you hand tighten these things down in a pattern, kind of like if you were putting a tire on, and you just go quarter at a time, and with your hand. You don't use a tool to give that extra little oomph on speakers, because you'll warp the basket, and when the speaker moves in and out of the diaphragm, or I forgot what that's called, basically the voice coil going in and out, where it's being magnetized, you're going to be, if the basket is tightened down too much, or one is tighter than the other, you can have this basket warped, which could in turn, it's just tiny. It's like 2 inches, I believe, on this speaker. And there's a tiny, tiny gap. And you can rub and cause noises, cause friction, and the speaker will eventually blow. I'm not sure exactly what the problem is with this speaker, but I do have others in the back. I have quite a bit of speakers. But anyway, check this out. So normally, like on my Fender cabs, the glue for the Tolex is I'm gonna say carelessly oversprayed on here. So when I have the back panel and I put it down, the glue actually holds this thing in so well, which is an advantage, but it's also a disadvantage if you're trying to take it apart. The back panel has a hard time coming off. But look how, like, this is clean. There's no extra overspray or anything on here. It's very nice. The cab construction is pine. It looks like pine and everything. Interestingly, I believe that this baffle cleat is solid pine as well. I was kind of expecting to see, like what I do is birch plywood, just for firmer construction. But that looks like solid pine. Kind of cool. Learning something new every day. I will say that the front baffle is birch, or I'm 99% of that it's birch. And let's see if I can flip this over. And this back panel, you can see, I believe this is birch as well, and you can see that it's not completely void free, but it's got plugs in it for each sheet. So I mean, maybe it's void free, and those plugs are just not cabinet grade. It's not cabinet grade, which is fine, because there's Tolex on the outside. Another thing I noticed is, like, look how clean, and again, there's no overspray of glue up here, and it's perfect. And this Tolex wraps around solid, by the way. This isn't rolling up or anything like my other cabs that I've seen. Just a little bit of glue over here, but I mean, everything is like so nicely done. I can really appreciate that. All the holes are perfect. It looks like the center cleat is birch ply, and then right next to it is a solid pine piece that the screws screw into. Now, some of you might be saying, wow, this construction is pretty close to a fender baseman, and I would have to agree with you. I think it is. I don't think there's too much more to note here. Here's the jacks. They're using regular Switchcraft jacks inside. This particular model is 216 ohms, or 15 according to the sticker, but we call it 16 ohms in parallel. So you're 8 ohm at the jack. So pretty cool. I'm going to go and replace the speaker. Again, for all of you, basically what you do when you replace a speaker, and by the way, these screws are reminiscent of the speaker the way that the fenders from back in the day were done. It is basically a reversed sort of threaded screw on the inside here. So you really don't want to over torque, because if you spin this screw against this baffle, the front speaker baffle, you're going to have some problems getting the speaker nice and tight, and it's just not good. One thing I just noticed, actually, is it just me? No, it is. So look at the speaker is actually lower in the cab. It's not centered. So that's kind of interesting. I just noticed that. And it is somewhat sealed off. I mean, you have gaps up here in the front and a gap here in the back. So these, air is moving between the two chambers. And that's what we got. Hope you like this video.